All right, I have hit record. Hi, for those of you that don't know me, I am Nicole Grafton. I don't know, I've been a coach 2 years. Kristen and I were high school friends or enemies, depending on who you asked. We both played flute, so we've got like this little like competition going on. Anyway, she asked if I would do this week's webinar on inviting because well, my team name is Team Genuine, and I really feel like if some lady is going to show me pictures of herself in a sports bra, before I send the invite, I have to know them. Or like my husband really struggles. He really struggles. He always has with his weight, and just taking off his shirt is a huge accomplishment, much less saying you need to take a picture and post in a group. And I feel like as coaches, we have to make sure when we send the invite, we don't go in with our Success Club goals or our point goals or our you would make a great coach eventually, but I want to get you in a 10-day first goal. And instead we put it on them. So I'm just going to kind of share what I do, and then hopefully you guys can ask questions and go from there. So the very beginning of the month, I make a list. And I make a list based off of my social media. So I go to posts that I've posted about fitness and I've posted about nutrition. And I click on to see who's liked it. And whoever is not a challenger or a coach goes on my list. At this point, it's usually 20-ish people. I write those names down, and then I make a separate column. I'm going to show you in a minute. I make a separate column on the other side of my list for specific coach invites and people that I want to form with that are on my dream team, or just specifically for coaching, whether they're in fitness or not. I always say to my team, like, if it's someone that you would want to work with, that's who goes on that list. If it's someone that you would get along with and you would go have a girls' night with, that's who's on that list, because you never know. You never know if they want to coach or not. So, and I'll show you on this thing, I go through my recently added list. So all of you should be adding 2 or 3 new people a day. If you don't add them every day, that's okay. Just add people pretty frequently. So like today I added 6, but I didn't add any yesterday. So as long as you're keeping your funnel full, I go to that list of people that kind of our conversations have gone well, or like when I first, like for example, I'm doing my Whole30 again, so I'm in a Whole30 group a lot, and I'm posting and friending from there. If they're sending conversations back and forth, they're going to go on my new list. I don't know them at all. It may take me months to form a relationship enough to ask them to invite or whatever, but they're going to go on my new list. So I'm going to show you September. This is the size of my hand, y'all. It's like 5 by, I don't know, 4.5. It's pretty small. This is my list of people that have posted on my social media that we've formed relationships with, that I wanted to, does it say my internet's unstable on your side? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
It just came across and said I'm unstable. Well, we all know I'm unstable. These are people that liked things on my social media, that are present, that we may or may not have had a relationship with prior. Usually the first 5 or 6 names are people from like, hey, I want to order a challenge pack, but I can't till next month. Those go up here. Oh my gosh, my car repair was $750. I can't do it. I got the flu. I'm going out of town. We've already formed a relationship enough. I've invited them. They're sort of up here. And the rest of them are social media people that I've liked. So in September was 29. It's October the 8th, and I'm on 6. I have 6 for October. I have 1 under my coach tab, and I have 4 like 10-day, like I've sent an invite for 10-day, and I'm trying to figure out where they're going to go on my list. If my list gets any bigger than this, I'm overwhelmed as a coach. I don't have enough time to send out constant like interaction. Hey, how are you doing? How are the kids? I don't have time to do that if my list is too long. And this holds me accountable to when I say I have to invite, I'm looking down my list. Did I invite 29 people? No. Okay. Time to get off get off the pot and send some invites out. So that's my list. I make that the very beginning of the month. And then as it progresses, like there are several on my September that I will move over that I haven't yet because I'm in the middle of non-napping 3-year-old craziness. So I send out invites in clumps. I don't send out an invite every day usually because I lose track. And again, I want to make sure I keep track. So how do I keep track of these people that I send the invites to? I have a program online called Asana. When we have conversations back and forth, I put their name. Okay, they're sick. They have the flu this week. Check back in with them. I'm not real great about keeping that updated from a date perspective, but I am from a what the relationship is based off of perspective. So if today was one of those days that I'm looking and I'm like, okay, Erin and I have talked several times. I sort of know enough about her. I'm going to send an invite. Usually it goes like this. Erin, I was thinking about you today. Have you ever considered doing a challenge with me? I have one coming up on Monday. I don't try to gear the conversation toward fitness. I don't ask them about their nutrition. I don't say, oh, you must be tired. You're a new mom. I have something to solve that. I come out of the blue and just say, I've been thinking about you today in your, whatever it was that we were talking about the last time. Have you ever considered doing a whatever it is that I have coming up? So this today and yesterday has been the 10-day challenge. I've been pushing for the 10-day challenge. I just revamped our stuff, and I feel like I started in a 10-day. Some people are just really leery about doing a 30 or 60 or 90-day program. Next week will be a push week because for me, I want to hit Success Club by the 15th of the month so I can help my coaches. So I will probably do 10-day, well, today's Thursday. So I'll do some more 10-day invites tomorrow. The last 10-day invites will go out Saturday morning because I have to ship by Saturday at noon. And then that's it for 10-day invites. So Saturday through next Thursday will be forming people and asking if they want to do a longer challenge. And I don't ever put a date on my invites. Hey, do you want to do a 30-day challenge? It's too much information. Hey, have you ever considered doing a nutrition challenge? Period. I don't put a date on it. I don't put a deadline on it. I try really hard to separate I need you to buy this because it's on sale and I need my Success Club point before the 15th, or I really do want to know what your goals are. Is this the right time? And that's why on my list, I moved this person over here, because if they say yes and it takes us 2 weeks to get through what their needs are, then it takes 2 weeks. You just have to have enough depth on your list to be able to move people left and right, if that makes any sense. Coach invites, I do on the fly. Like Mike and I sat down for coffee. We've been talking for 3 months. He was our waiter at a Mexican restaurant, and he had lost 100 pounds on his own working at a Mexican restaurant. And we sat down, and I was fat pregnant, and I was like eating cheese and chips and just like, I'm going to enjoy this while it lasts. And we were laughing because I said, every chip I eat, I'm going to have to lose weight when I give birth to this kid. And anyway, we got to talking, and he's hilarious. But it has taken almost 4 months for this to become a coach prospect. So I planted the seed. We friended each other on Facebook. He watched me for a month. I sent him messages back and forth. He's great. He posts stuff about his weight loss journey online, and then he's going to coach this month. So I feel like part of our business model tells you to have this gigantic list and that you have to send out 2 invites a day or you'll never be successful. I think the key is you need to send out invites to people that you feel comfortable sending them to, and you have to keep a list that's deep enough that when you get 11 no's in a week, which has happened, or ask Erin Holiday, sometimes I get no's all month. I still have a relationship with those people, so it's not an icky no, and I just move on. That's not to say there are not some invites that I go back through my social media. I'm like, I have never seen you before, but you posted on my size video, and I'm going to send you an invite. Hey, thanks for liking my page. Have you ever considered doing, because I'm a Ruby personality and I want to meet my Success Club goal. So that's how I invite. That is my plan for the month. It's obviously worked for me. So I talked for like 10 minutes. So you ask me questions.
Well, it's me. So my biggest thing, like I can find challengers, right?
Okay.
People are motivated enough to lose the weight, blah, blah, blah. Where I struggle is like keeping them on Shakeology and then also getting coaches to commit. Like there are people who are interested, they like the idea of coaching, but they never like they don't respond to messages after a while. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be the person that bothers them. I'm more Pearl. So I'm like, well, whatever you want to do,
Okay, so what's your Pearl what?
In like the Pearl personality, I don't want to like offend anybody. I don't want to push them too hard.
Are you secondary or are you all Pearl?
Pearl Emerald.
So you're all Pearl.
Yeah.
Okay, when they say you're Emerald, that your secondary personality usually takes over because Emerald is so facts and figures that personality-wise we usually take. I am Emerald Ruby, and my Ruby keeps like Ruby. Mm-hmm. Emerald keeps diminishing. Okay, so the problem with Pearls is that when you posture yourself for the invite, you're posturing yourself sitting back in your chair and crossing your fingers and asking them, oh my God, please do this. I think you'd be great. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, please do this. When in reality, you need to be sitting up with your shoulders back saying, I have something to offer you. I think you would be great. This is why. And always direct the conversation back on them. I think our Pearls worry about, okay, what if I hurt their feelings? Okay, what if I'm bugging them? Okay, if they're on my dream team list, I'm freaking bugging them. Just like I would have as a band director and I wanted them as my assistant. I mean, I never lost touch with the people, and I still don't. Honestly, if I go back to teaching, I still have a list of people that I would hire because they are good at their jobs. And not that it supports me financially in any way, but those are people I want to work with. Just like I have a list of people I will never work with. Same thing. And we have to be okay if we're on their list of there's no way I'll work with Carrie, I just won't do it, then you got to move on. Mm-hmm. And if you're always in that amoeba of like, you want to coach, you don't want to coach, you got to be a little bit more direct and say, I'm getting the feeling this isn't the right time for you. That's okay. I just want to make sure that I can follow up with you in a month when things are better. Or you got to put some kind of stop end to it so that you emotionally can move on and they don't feel like, okay, well, the only reason she's bugging me is because she thinks I'm the coach.
Right.
Other thing too, I think that's hard. How long have you been coaching?
Since the beginning, like May, so a couple months.
The other thing that's hard is it takes time to establish that trust with the people that are watching you. I know for my story, my family and closest friends were the hardest ones to convince, and honestly, I think it was because I wasn't completely convinced, and sometimes I still am like, I'm doing what? Do what?
Yeah.
So some of that is you just need to come out and posture yourself again instead of this like social media like, oh, I sort of coach. You really like, I coach. This is my challenger. This is my coach. You are leading this team and we are going this direction. And when people see you doing that on social media over and over and over again, then when you send out the invite, it's not so much like, what are you doing? Are you sure that you are going to do this because it's a pyramid scheme or whatever their objection is.
Right.
It was harder for me to add coaches at the beginning than it is now. It was easier for me to add discount coaches, but I never lead with the discount ever. In fact, I think I had some, I know I did. I had some coaches sign up to coach that didn't know they got a discount. Because I just don't, that part of the business, for me, it wasn't as life-changing. The discount isn't as life-changing as changing other people's lives. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually kind of shocked when I ask people to do discount coaching and say yes right away, because I just don't, that's just not the way I do it. And that probably stems from your challengers not being on Shakeology. And why are they not on Shakeology? What are the objections you've gotten?
So mostly cost, right? Like they'll start with the challenge pack and do the 30 days. And then they're like, I just can't afford it. You know, I've really gotten better about like, well, you have to mix it this way. Because I think that the taste piece, the follow-up piece I wasn't doing.
Do you have a list of your favorite recipes?
Yes.
Okay.
I've even made a video, which is like a big deal, to show them, because that's what changed me. I was not a Shakeology person.
Yeah.
And I think, so I've been listening to Danny Johnson, and she, like when you lead with, or no, when you're like framing things around like, well, I know they're going to have this objection, then they sort of hear that, right? And you're So I really need to work on that. So I'm aware of my.
Yeah. And that's, Erin says, this is just my posturing. So very rarely do I have people drop the first month on my Shakeology. Very rarely. And in the 2 years I've been coaching, I've had 2 bags returned. And what's funny is the girl that returned the 2 bags is now a challenger again. I believe with the bottom of my gut that there is nothing more nutritious on the market for the price that I get in my Shakeology. There are definitely some things I do not love about it. I don't love that there's stevia. I don't love that there's non-GMO stuff. I don't love that it's not organic, and I don't love that it's not gluten-free. But I know that I was going through Starbucks and I was going through Chick-fil-A, and I know those things. And I, at this point, am a pretty healthy person. And I'm still struggling with the last 20 pounds, with food cravings, all of those things. So at the beginning, I think when I started Shakeology, I was like, people are touting it as a weight loss supplement, whatever. When I talk to my challengers about it, we talked about it in the group, you are not going to get any better nutrition. I don't remember. Do you have kids?
I have a baby that's 9 months old.
Okay. So she isn't old enough to drink it yet. But I mean, start talking about how, you're doing research on picky eaters when he gets to be a year or 2, and you're totally okay if they drink Shakeology. Use my examples, use other examples. So again, you're posturing yourself not from I'm trying to sell you a bag of shakes to, I know that you spent $90 at the bar this weekend. I know you did. How do you feel on Monday morning? Well, I'm fat, I'm bloated, I don't feel good. Okay, well, let's not drink this weekend, put that money towards a bag and see what happens. And then in the course of that challenge group, you've really got to focus in on something other than the number on the scale. Because if their scale number doesn't meet their expectations, then it's all the shake's fault. All of it. Right? Because we preach nutrition all the time. We're like, it's 85%. You have to do your nutrition. So those people you almost need to re-invite. Hey, I'm sorry that your scale didn't move. What did you like about the challenge? What did you like about the challenge? How can I help? So that you're adding value more than just from a bag of shakes. But yes, Danny Johnson is correct. Just like when you come up with the cost objections and in the back of your mind you're like, I'm not going to send that invite because they don't have money. Nope, they do have money. They just are choosing to spend it elsewhere. I mean, even the people that are on welfare choose to spend their money elsewhere.
Right.
I mean, we've been there, so I can say that. So I just think, you can't buy a better meal for $4. You just can't.
Right. And I think, I'm not, who else said, someone said like, that you can, maybe it's like Chalene Johnson or Shay Sanford. Is that her name? Shay Sanford? Listening to her.
Yeah.
And she was saying like, people can hear it in your voice or hear it in your posture when you, are sort of like, well, I know it's expensive, but like I can afford it because, whatever. So, do you post a lot about Shakeology, like within your week? I haven't really looked at
in my Facebook page or in my challenge group?
Both actually, I would like to know.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's okay.
Hey,
I understand.
Is that Rhonda? Rhonda, did you just join us?
Yes.
Ilgenfritz, Rhonda?
Yes.
Okay, hey. Sorry, it didn't pop up. We're talking about inviting, and it's just me and Carrie, so now it's you.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi.
And Rhonda can verify this. I plan maybe 2 or 3 posts a week based on what the week is going off of. Like this week, I didn't realize it would be horrible with napping, and it just happens to be that that's the theme of the week. So it would be really great for me to do a Shakeology post on that, and I haven't. I think I talk about it enough, and I do hashtags enough. And again, going back to the time thing, people know when they see me at this point that they know that's a part of what we drink.
Hi.
I don't know.
Heidi. No.
We post Shakeology at least 2 or 3 times a week in the challenge group. And my personal page, I don't know, maybe 3 times a week.
Okay. I always get nervous of like the skeptics because I was totally a skeptic. Like this is just some bag of whatever. So
that's affecting your posting, right?
Yes.
Rhonda's Pearl too.
Okay.
You are worried about people being skeptical. Well, let them be skeptical and move on.
Okay.
I was skeptical too. Rhonda, 6 months. She told me no for 6 months. And I was like, Rhonda, you and I have the same brain nutritionally. I promise I'm not trying to just sell you a crap product. Rhonda forever. But when you're posting about it, maybe that's what's coming out and you need to just say, hey, I was skeptical about this.
Yeah.
But this is what it's done for me. Or when you're like, I've done more than a couple of posts when I go through Starbucks and I have them mix my Shakeology instead of getting coffee. I don't know. I tell Rhonda, and there's a couple other coaches on our team that take lots of selfies, like, I'm drinking my Shakeology. I don't think that adds enough value. I would rather you take a picture of a muffin and compare. I just spent $5 on this muffin at Mimi's when I could have spent $4 on my Shakeology at sale. And then it's real. It's not, you're being real.
Mm-hmm.
My Shakeology
really
cleanse did really well.
Yeah. Thank you.
That always does really well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rhonda, do you have any invites?
Oh, she muted herself.
Okay. Do you have any specific invites? No?
Well, I've been working with this person who wants to be a coach, but what do you do when you don't hear from them? I think that's my biggest.
I write on their personal page.
Okay.
Pearl. And I say, hey, I sent you a message. Did you have a chance to see it? I know we're really busy. And fill in on, because remember, it's on their personal page. So people are going to see what you wrote and people are going to see what she wrote. So be really careful about not sounding gross. But I usually just say, hey, Emily, I sent you a message. Have you had a chance to look at it? Can't wait to catch up with you about your movie night or whatever. Something that has been going on that sounds very friendly, that doesn't sound, hey, have you checked your messages? Hey, have you checked your messages? Hey, have you checked your messages? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to be salesy, right?
And mine, honest to God, my Facebook the last week has sucked. My Messenger has been doing weird things. I've had to unload and reload Facebook, not only from my phone, but from my iPad. So some of that could really be glitches in whether you're sending it out from your computer or your phone, whether they're actually getting it.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Rhonda, do you have one?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I was muted. Sorry.
You were, and then you unmuted because I asked if you had invites.
Okay. I just have that, like, brain cancer girl. Like, that's
The what?
the brain cancer girl.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to find out about the ginkgo, and I don't know. I just ended up saying, like, we could always do a 10-day challenge and just see how your body responds.
Right.
Because I don't really understand why her endocrinologist was like, if you want a supplement, I'll prescribe you one. I was like, that's kind of icky. Like,
You want to know my gut instinct?
he sells something?
Yep, and that's an excuse.
Yeah.
So she has cancer, which sucks.
She doesn't now. She
know.
did a long time ago.
She feels bad. She's gained weight.
Uh-huh.
She has a doctor who's telling her it's all these hormones. She needs to come back to the doctor and use all these. And here is shocker, healthy lifestyle. I want you to get 30 minutes of exercise in a day. I want you to meal plan, and I want you to do a 100% nutrition multivitamin that's taken the right way instead of a dried up pill or inside of a gel tab. It's not going to go anywhere in your system. Person telling her that this is the right way to go through that. And I think for me, I think that's you need to gain a little bit more. Ooh, I got an echo.
Sorry. Oh, let me figure this out.
Hold on, let's see if I can. There's 2 of you on.
I know. I'm trying to get off my phone.
Okay, hold on.
My husband's laughing in the background.
Like, are you on Star Wars? This is the coolest coaching call ever. How come I can't? Oh, hold on. Unmute. Okay, Rhonda, can you talk?
Yes. Okay, I don't know how to hang up on my phone, but now I'm on my computer too.
Okay, I think I can hang you up.
I don't know. I muted the phone, so.
Hey, look, I'm removing you. Hold on.
Awesome.
Yeah. Carrie, feel free to, you don't have to stay on the whole time.
No, I enjoy listening, so thank you for having me.
And I'm just going to let the recording keep going because people need to hear. Okay, so I think that's a trust thing. That if you feel like you're going to gain trust by giving her some samples and seeing, like, hey, just send her a message. If I give you a couple of Shakeologies, will you buy a couple because it costs me some, and let's see how this does for 4 days. Hey, send me what you are currently eating. Let me look at that before you buy your Shakeology. Maybe I can help with a week of your meal planning because it's the 8th of the month. You still have plenty of time to really dig in and see what her fear is. But my gut, when you sent that to me this morning, my gut was really, she's scared. She's unhappy and unhealthy, and she wants the doctor way instead of doing it the hard way, which is what we're doing. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy. If it was easy, we'd all be fit and healthy and happy.
Right. Yeah, and she wanted Pio.
Okay.
Only Pio. So maybe that you're right. Maybe it's not even so much the doctor as it is.
Yeah. So have you asked her point blank what's holding you back? And she just said,
it was, I need to check with my endocrinologist. So, I don't know. She is a complex case. Like,
yeah.
Her adrenals don't work. Like, and it's not just adrenal fatigue. It's like she had cancer in her brain.
Right.
And radiation. So
that may just be one of those that you're going to have to meet her where she is, and you're going to have to gain some trust. And you did that to me.
Yeah.
I mean, not to that extreme, but it really took you a long time for me to say, look, do you need to try the vegan version?
Right.
So that may just be one of those, again, like you weren't on the call, but at the beginning I said, inviting is really hard because we have to separate, I want to be at SC, you're a point, this is on sale, you guys probably don't because you're Pearl. I do. This person is a person, I really have an opportunity in 30 days to really change their perspective on things. And you know what? If it takes longer than 30 days, that's okay. And maybe with her, that's one of those, that's on my list, Carrie, that's one of those that would go from here to the next pen. Now, at the point they come off this list, so you'll see mark throughs, those are challengers or like people that were 18 and couldn't do one, or one girl I never got a hold of. One girl said she didn't want me to follow back up with her in a month. So I just crossed through them and then I moved them over. These first 6 names are people that I know I need to re-invite because we've talked before. And anyway, that would be one of those, maybe, Rhonda, that you just put on the, I don't know. For being Ruby, I would rather them trust me than me invite 10 people and go, well, I don't really care about you because you're not a Success Club point for me. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I had an invite, just as an example. Her name is Ashley, and she has a hard time with money. And I wasn't posturing myself from a money objection. She has a lot of weight to lose. She's a little girl. She works at McDonald's, which doesn't help the situation because that's free food. And she and I met from a baby wearing, just because I friend people from the baby wearing site. And she and I have been talking back and forth about her daughter and her daughter's eating. She's 18 months, and she's really unhappy because her daughter eats French fries, and that's about it. Like, that's what her needs are. And I invited her to a challenge at the very beginning, well, at the end of September, because I wanted her in my October group because I knew money. I just knew. So she said she was going to do it on the 2nd day of October, 3rd day of October. I was like, hey, this is PIO's on sale. This is what we're going to do. 21-day fix is on sale if you wanted to do that. But I think the containers are going to be too much for you. It's a little overwhelming. Let's just stick with PIO. Your daughter could probably do PIO with you, and she'd have fun putting her hand over, that's the stage where they're like doing all sorts of stuff with their bodies. And anyway, so 5 days later, she bought a double wide and land, and obviously is not going to be doing the challenge this month. But I say that because I've only known her for a month. I've only known her for, beginning of September. She was one of the people on my brand new list. Like, I don't really know you, but we friended you and we're on baby wearing, but I know that there's a need. I just have to wait for the right opportunity for her money to be where it needs to be. So she's going to stay on my list because I know the need is there. I need her to trust me a little bit more. And I think that I believe that if the money was there, she would have bought it. But again, she's young and she wanted her land and her home, and Shakeology obviously comes last. But I'm going to tell you that next month, when she has her first round of bills go through and she's going to have to grocery shop, then it'll be like, she'll be paying attention to my social media when I say it was $4 for Shakeology. So when I send another invite, hey, I'm just following it from you, PIO's not on sale anymore, but we could do a 10-day, or we could do, it's really about what's best for her, not what's in my Success Club. Sucks for Success Club, but.
So then do you, in between that time, are you still like following up with her via Messenger? Like, hey, I saw that you posted blah, blah, blah. How are you doing?
Yeah.
And then when the time comes.
Like if Yumi and Rhonda were at a bar and we were just shooting the bull for 3 hours because we're waiting on our husbands doing whatever, like, that's the conversation I continue. So if I send the invite, we've gotten all, like Carrie, how I said, you need to stop that conversation with your coach invites. Like you have to get to the point where, do you want to coach now? If this is not a good time for you, that's okay. I think you would be great. Is it okay if I follow up with you in a month? That doesn't mean you ignore the conversation for a month. You just follow up on the coaching opportunity in a month. Okay. I'm just saying, hey, Carrie, how are the kids?
Yeah.
Hey, Rhonda, how was your biking accident? Like I just like with my coaches, I want them to know that the relationship comes before the business. Because again, just like full circle, they're having to take off their clothes and take pictures in a sports bra and put weight and waist measurements on a group page, or if not a group page, send them to me in a message. Like, that is hard to do. So I think coach invites are the hardest to send because it's like, Carrie, did you work before having kids?
Yeah, I still work part-time. I'm a teacher.
Okay, we're all teachers. So it would kind of be like all of us going out to our friends in college that had different career paths and saying, I think you should be a teacher. Why don't you come teach with me? And we feel so passionately about our teaching and our kids and the experiences that we're having in the classroom that we want everybody to experience it. But let's face it, my dad would not have made a good teacher. He's an engineer. My husband would not have made a good teacher. He is an HR. Like, that is his God-given gift. And so I think with the coaching opportunity, you have to keep in mind that it's emotional for us because it's changed us. And when I offer that, they may not want to do it. And that's okay. That's okay. But I have to know that I can't continue to invite a coach for my dream team over and over and over, because then it's wearing on me and it's wearing on them. And then you don't find new people, and then you keep inviting the same people to coach, and you're like, why isn't my business growing? Well, because you're so emotionally connected to these 5 people that you want on your team and you think they'd be great, but they're not ready, or they don't want it. They don't want to be a teacher. They don't want to be then you got to move on. And then you're going to have coaches that sign up that want it and that work their butt off. And then a year later, they're going to, just like I did, I quit teaching. Like, you always have to have new blood. You always have to be able to find people that are willing and able to coach with you. But that's why I said I didn't offer the discount. I just did.
Yeah, it's hard when you're like, oh, I need to push to team builder, I need to push to the diamond, I need to push, and then you're like, well, who do I invite? I don't want to work with these people, or I don't want to. So
You invite your challengers and you invite people on your dream team. And this list right here, if I can get like, well, I mean, I hate to tell you this, but there's 5 people on this list and 4 of them are signing up as coaches.
but you also have been planting the seed for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yeah,
difference.
so Kelsey I've known for a couple months. Rachel I've known for a couple months. Amy I've known since college. Erin is brand new. I didn't know her at all, but she does fitness stuff and we just hit it off. And then Mike I've known for 4 months. So it just so happened that this month, those are the 5 people that for the coaching opportunity, we just happened to mesh and meet up and we're just figuring out when they're going to sign up. And then next month it'll be people that I've already formed with or current challengers. And that's not like Rachel will be a discount coach. She loves Shakeology. She's lost a lot of weight. She loves it. I asked her if she wanted to coach because she's great in the groups and she said no. And then I said, well, you can get a discount, but I don't ever leave with a discount.
I like that.
To me, if Kristen had said, Nicole, hey, you should just sign up to coach because you get a discount, that makes me feel like I would never be good enough to coach. And the only reason I should do that is some of the other MLMs that sign you up as an ambassador, sign you up as a whatever, a coach, I don't know what they call people, sales lady, whatever, because you get this discount, that's all I am. I'm just a discount. I signed up for the discount at the beginning, and I think I've done pretty well.
I would agree. I want to be you, so.
You want to be better than me. That's the review. Rhonda, I'm sorry about the invite. Anything else? Patrick's got the kids, so it's like quiet.
I just have a bunch of people who've kind of like either done it before without a coach, who are like, oh, I need to do it again. And so we're just kind of playing message tag. Like they've seen me be consistent and they're like, I wish I could be like that. I need to get back to it. So I'm following up with a lot of those people.
Okay, I'm going to read.
I didn't have a challenge group before, and one girl was a coach before, but quit like a couple years ago.
Wow. That's an easy one. If you quit a couple of years ago, get her butt on the phone. Shakeology is completely new.
She said she's going to call me this weekend, and she didn't. So I'm going to follow up with her and call her.
I would have, You should have called this weekend.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Was it Danny that says that? So somebody says if you say, as a leader, if you're going to invite to the coaching opportunity or whatever, as a leader, when you say you're going to do it, you have to do it. Like if they say they're going to call you at 2 and they haven't called by 2:30, then you have to know enough to just call them out. Send them a text. Hey, I didn't, because they're waiting on you to forget. Same thing with our follow-ups. They're waiting on us to forget. Okay, so this is my invite from today. I invited her 3 or 4 days ago, and I just said, hey, have you ever considered doing a 10-day? And this turned into a PIO challenge pack. I didn't realize she had all these health issues. So we go back and forth, and she hasn't watched the video. So today at 7, I sent her a message, and I said, hey, have you had a chance to watch the video? I'm in a church meeting and then leading my coaches, but I can get back to you tonight. She said, oh, thanks for sharing. Hopefully I can get to a place that I can do some exercise soon. And immediately, because, she's been wishy-washy about sending them back, I said, what's holding you back? I totally think you can do this. Take small steps. And then she goes into her health problems, right? I'm in the middle of all this pain. Can you help me meal plan? I need a lot of help. And instead of typing it back, I did the voice message so she can hear my voice. That's what I do as a coach. I can help you meal plan. I can help you make grocery lists. This is what I do. So if this is how you want to start, we'll take small steps with your nutrition. Bam, done. Signed up, email, done. She just needed to hear me say, yes, of course you can do the small steps. You don't have to do all of your exercise and all of your Shakeology and all of your workouts all at the same time. I'm going to meet you where you're at. So with the ones that are being wishy-washy, you've got to get that. What's holding you back? And then you, Pearl, have to be okay when they say, I'm not ready. You got to remove yourself from that. I know it's really hard. I know. I get that way with coaches. Not so much with challengers, but I do get that way with coaches.
What did she end up ordering?
Pio.
Like the challenge pack or just Pio?
Pio. Oh, and you'll know this one. Josephat Jaime.
Oh, yeah.
He ordered today.
Awesome.
Sorry, it's just a longtime friend that told me I was doing a gimmick and this would never work. And he's like, okay.
But that's so good to hear, because when you've not been in it very long, you're like, oh, none of this is doing anything. So
Josephat and I went to grad school together.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
he lost like 200 pounds on his own.
Wow.
We used to call him Hoso Fat. And he's just great. And he bicycles like 100 miles on the weekends now. And he was like, oh, I did it on my own. It's like, okay, you're going to come back to me when your muscle storages are depleted and you're tired and you're trying to get nutrients from salads.
Right.
No, but again, that's the way I invite. Okay, I invite I want people to feel like I care about them. I do care about them, but I want them to feel it. That came out wrong. I want them to feel it. I want them to, like, when they open their messenger, to know that it's not me just sending hey, did you watch that video? But hey, no, I really did send you that video because I believe you can do this. So.
And I'm running into some, like, couple people that I've had that I've friend requested in the last year that I haven't gotten to know yet and I haven't invited yet are signing up with other people, and I'm getting frustrated. But I guess that's just normal, and I shouldn't feel guilty that I haven't invited yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, here's my Summer Tucker. Never hold someone's future captive in your mouth. Send the invite. And that's the other thing too.
No, I've been coaching for a year, and I'm like, how long? Like, I just haven't gotten to forming them yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can only form.
And just like I was telling Carrie, there are some months, like last month, that are harder than others for me, even with the system. And I just send out blanket invites that last week.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Someone has been watching you on social media. You just have to personally invite them. I am not at the place in my business where I can throw up a flyer and I have my Success Club points. And you know what? I don't know that I will be there for a while. I think the way I run my business is through those private messages anyway. So people, when I post flyers, people are like, what? What is that? Like, last night's flyer was the first flyer in months that I've gotten more than 4 likes on. And I get hundreds of likes on random chi bag posts. Like, I think there are people waiting for you to invite them. They will not post on social media. They will not like that post because they don't want their people seeing that they're interested in losing weight. They don't want their mothers, daughters, grandmothers seeing that they're going to try some next gimmick because they failed at 15 others before. So you have to pay attention to who's liking your other posts, and you have to make the contact. And then you're Ruby, because you're a musician. Rhonda, you got to let those ones that have signed up with other coaches go. Like, and I'm not being mean here, but if you need to block them so that their stuff doesn't show up on your newsfeed, block them.
Okay.
Just do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, you know, it's funny. I posted that Diet Coke thing yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And someone who didn't comment and didn't like a band director today made a comment. I was walking out the door, and he was like, have a good day. Oh, and you're off the Diet Coke. So I'm like,
See?
People are reading it, but you're right. They're not commenting and they're not liking it, but they're reading it. So,
no.
Yeah, maybe I need to just send him an invite.
Was that today?
Yes, he's on Diet Coke. He was like,
so again, going back to the Danny Johnson thing, like, you are running a business. He said that. You freaking send him a message and you say, hey, I know you were just being flippant with me, but seriously, it really has made a difference in blah, 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 blah. Do you want to do a 10-day challenge with me and give up Coke for 10 days and see what he says? What's the worst he says?
No, that's not.
And he follows you some more, and then he's going to see you post about,
yeah.
I think the invite is we're so afraid to send have you ever considered doing a fill in the blank? But for me, that's the easiest part. The hard part is telling the story and building the trust behind on my social media, and then following up in a real way that they feel that I care. Like, it's hard to get caught up in facts and figures and, hey, this is how much PIO is, and this is on sale this month, and we're going to start on the 31st, and this has changed my life, blah, blah, blah. But they need to feel that you believe in them. I believe that you can change your life. I believe that you don't have to cook with macaroni and cheese at every meal for your kids. I believe that your kids don't have to drink milk every day. Those are things I believe. And, well, how do you get away with that? Well, because my Shakeology has everything I need. It has everything I need. My burger doesn't. My paleo pancakes don't. My workouts don't. That's the way I posture it. So when they are talking about, oh, I've given up on 15,000 diets, and that's not to say that I don't have challengers that it doesn't work for. They're just not ready. But the invite, I think, is you got to get past the invite. The invite's the easiest part. That's just like one blip in the timeline. Here's the trust we're building. Here's the invite. Here's the follow-up, and we're forming more relationships, and then they buy, and then you got a major relationship built, right? So the invite's just like a blip. It's just it's a way for us to push you outside your comfort zone. Same thing with coaches. You have built, so Carrie, when you start to post, and I tell this to Rhonda too, you've got to post about being a coach, not being a challenger or that Beachbody's changed your life. But no, truly, I am leading 65 people on a call right now. I am creating a website they need to see whatever it is for your team. I am leading a 10-day. They need to see you as a leader and what you do as a coach. So that building that trust, they're like, oh, she's actually doing this. She's not just posting sale flyers. Then you send the invite for coaching, and let's talk about the timeline for invite for coaching. That takes a lot longer usually. Even with challengers, I think. I don't know. It's maybe just me, but the invite's just a blip. They've seen your trust, you send the invite, and then, okay, let's talk through your concerns. Here's a webinar. Sometimes webinars don't work for people. And I am not waiting to invite coaches to my team based on when I'm hosting the team webinar for coaching or on our team page that weekend. I'm just inviting to invite. If they're ready, they're going to sign up that Monday. If they're not, then we have 2 weeks and they can, I'm just coaching. For me, the coaching invite takes a while.
That's good to know, because they are hard, You're going to work with them. You want to like them. They want to like you.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. They got to like you. And Tommy Migrant had a really good, one of the summits, wasn't one that I went to. So it was either this year or 3 years ago. Tommy Migrant said, the reason why coaches is so hard because you are really interviewing them. We have this mindset, especially Pearl, Sapphire, we have this mindset of like, I want them on my team. Are they going to want to be on my team? I think I have pretty pink colors. I think they're going to want to be on my team. When in reality, you're the CEO of your business. And do you want to hire them or do you not? Are they too dramatic? Then you need to move on. Are they wishy-washy? Is that what you want on your team? Some of our coaches have really good faith-based teams. You think they're going to ask them about their faith journey? Those are things like, this is your team. This is who you get to work with. Someone texts you at 2 a.m. Are you going to answer the phone for them? So Tommy just says you need to revert it back to, this is your business. This is your coaches and your challengers. And even that with challengers, like some of these people on my list, I think I shared on a Team Genuine call. I'm looking through it. Maybe 6 months ago. And I said, I crossed off people because I went to their timeline and I was like, nope. Not going to get along. I'm going to have a really hard time coaching you because we have nothing in common, or things that you post like resonate deep in with my soul that I wouldn't be able to move past. So no, it's a posturing thing. You got to change your mindset on Shakeology. You got to change your mindset on, they're going to be on your team. Who do you want to teach clarinet lessons with? Who do you want your kids to be? What teacher do you want your kids to have? Like, I want to interview their teachers. I want to know. If you're going to coach with me, I want to know. And that's why I'm passionate about that dream list. Like, I never gave up on Rhonda. I never if she had still said no, it'd have been okay. But I knew she'd be good at this. We have the same mindset. And Kristen knew I would be good at this too. And if she hadn't reinvited and just been a friend, She didn't re-invite me every month, but she was there when I needed her to be there, that I wouldn't have coached. I mean, we would not be here.
Well, and I will actually say I almost felt like you let me chase you a little bit.
Did I?
I never felt like you were pressured. Like, I almost felt like you were a little, hey, let me know when you want to do this. I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, you let me pursue you and keep coming, like, I don't know. Like, when I think back, it was like I kept coming back to you and asking questions. It wasn't you like, hey, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? You kept the dialogue open, so I felt comfortable.
And that's posturing yourself as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I am going this way. My team is going this way. I would love to have you on this team. You would be great because of XYZ. I've seen it during this post and this post, or during this challenge group or this challenge group. You would be great, but this is where I'm going. And then you got to move on. You got to make your list.
Yeah.
Sorry, we talked. I'm a Summer Tucker here. It's 8:55.
It was really good. I appreciate it so much.
Okay, so I'm going to end record.